Good morning, good morning. I have to do this fast because I'm going out. This is what I'm telling you. When the moon comes a full turnaround, in order for 360 degrees to come out, okay, you need to multiply 360 plus 1 times 1.25, which is the X, 1937-1973 on your phone. That gives the moon a full turn of its own cycle, the 288th day of the year. How did I figure this out? 19 is the cycle of the moon times 19 squares it off is 361. So 361 told me I have to multiply that number of years, okay, in order to find out how do I get 1.25 to equal 361. So it took 288 days. So you have to go back and forth. Leave 3 days on each side of the moon. So you have the 288th day. You go back 11 days, you 277, and in leap year 278. 78 days to January 1st, or I'm supposed to go to Christ's birthday, but I'm going to January 1st. And then 45 days from there is 1/4 of the turn of the clock, turn of the moon. Brings us to Valentine's Day. The 14 in the middle of Rubik's Cube, the 14th letter is the letter N that shows the spot on the bottom that brings something to the top. 14 is St. Charles Place in Monopoly. And if you keep checking all the 14s, you'll understand what the 14s mean. 14 is 1 before Omega. The reason for the leap year, okay, number 27, which is 19 of the moon plus 8 of the heavens, 27, we need the birth into the two worlds. The 28th day is the earth. So we jump from 27 to 29. They're on two separate sides of the bull's horn. 27 and 29 makes you 8 in between. Therefore, 277 plus 78 is 365, plus 45 is 410. God is 10 times 41 equals 410. If you go around the Monopoly board, it takes 41 to get to the Mediterranean, Israel. God, the heavens live below, not above. We're above, that's why it's colder. And at 40, it's 0 Celsius. But with 1, it's just above Fahrenheit. And that puts you again on the Mediterranean. The reason for our nose freezing is we're up so high. We're like turtles. When you jump into the water and your head sticks out, you look like a turtle. You got 2 feet under the ground that are bent, and you don't know what to do with them, so you keep moving them. And your hands, they swim like dogs. While you paddle like crazy, it's cat scratch fever trying to get out of the water, the hellhole of Earth. The water in our brain, the 10%, the 200 in Monopoly. What you could do, what you can't do in all the games is the games people play. God knew, and that's how he sent his message of the Torah. Chasing the red dot of God. The Torah is right here. You're facing yourself all the time. You face Mars. Saturn faces Mars for reflection. Mars is a tin can. 1 is above, 7 is below. Calculate the Celsius to Fahrenheit, and you'll see what it means in numbers. Calculate your height, 5'7", to the dice of this world. Because nothing goes over really 7 foot. And then you got the 7 dice. 1 and 6 on each side. You're 5'7", you have one side of 7, 1 and 6, and the rest of the sides are 5. If you're 5'5", you're both on the side. You can't be up and down 5'5", because up on the top would be 4, down on the bottom would be 3. On paper, if you wrote it, they would go into each other, and all you would see is the 5. There's no other 7s, they're all 5s. If you were 5'2", you would come in as the mother, and you've reached the trains, the understanding of 6. Because all the trains are on 6th position. Their number is 6. 16, Sweet 16, which is Pennsylvania, the Liberty Belt, for the Sweet 16 of the one spirit of the 6 islands. The 26 is B&O, the beta egg, equaling the 30 creation, and then short lines. Short lines is where Saturn is, and on the opposite side is Pennsylvania, the freedom of all. But you can't get to Mars. Pennsylvania would be Mars. You can't get there unless you go through the Jew, the Torah. To reflect on yourself is to have something to reflect within. The ore, the nuclear energy, is inside of us. It's the energy we need to contact the moon in order to connect to the bigger story with Mars. Mars and Mercury talk to each other. Mercury is 1. Man on the dice is 6/1. So man can now connect to Mars by being just above Mars through Mercury. Avatar, all those cycles that you see of how the designs of the Magen David and the chakras, it's exactly what we're living in. It's a giant bubble with a bowl on the bottom with sharks and murky water, where all our thoughts go. When the thoughts are bad, they're moved over and tilted to one side, so they freeze in the poles. So the spirit inside is purified, and man moves on to think of the Torah, the bull that set us straight in life. Raphael 7286. And I'm still coming, and I ain't leaving, and I won't give up, because I wasn't put here to give up. I was put here to go and stop and listen. And I'm here, and I'm going, and now I'm stopping, and I'm ready to listen to your questions. I'm not here against you. I'm not here for money. I don't care about any of these things. My goal is to purify the land. My goal is to bring every nation into freedom so that we all can want to make a wish. We are all eyes. I am, and I wish. In French, it's je. It's the game, the juice, the energy, the je, and the wish. Wish in French is croix, which is the cross. Together, je and croix, je crois is I believe, but to wish and je is Jewish. Je wish. We all wish one day to know the land of the free, the home of the brave, and the good old Lord that set us on this land so that we should have a free mind, be able to think on our own, and bring the goodness from within us to all that surround us. I'm not here to make a plus on top of somebody, but I will become a minus to everybody. Because when I go, I'm gone, and the rest of you are here. So let's make a plus out of this whole thing, and let's start sticking together for New World Order cannot be stopped. And the Lord, He will show you. And the time is soon. We're in the year 2015 right now. Being that 3 BC was the birth of Christ, the Gregorian calendar would have started 3 days earlier, 3 years earlier. But it didn't, because the 3 is for creation. So He has to be born on love. Love is 0. 0 is 54. 5 times 4, 5 plus 4 is 29 days in February. There are many other ways. The 354th day is the 19th of December, 2 days before the count of the Mayan. But it must be 2 days because at one day the clock strikes 12 and both areas touch. So he has his Last Supper on the 19th. The leap day, Wednesday, December 19th. The last day, the Last Supper of Christ, in the old calendars of the Gregorian and the Hebrew and the Mayan. Now only the Christians and the Jews will go forward, and the Mayan is all in your mind. And I am, and may we all be well. We are the ETs in for correction. Earth, 20th, all TH, time, heaven of creation. THC, marijuana, the Jamaicans, Australia, the islands in the sea, the Cayman Islands, how they came to be, is how God put deep underneath the ground the energy of nuclear, so we can be able to possess within ourselves how to connect with the oceans. If my leaflet of paper while I speak has mangled up something and I've made any slight error that you have noticed, just ask me. I will correct it with the truth that will not change the totality of the history of the book. Raphael 7286.